Zack Snyder's Batman v BoonBoomger coming never. I bet some folks were probably wondering where I've been the last week. Actually, some folks probably just thought that it was my untimely demise because I know I do be getting some of those comments of people just wishing for my downfall. Anyway, once again, kind of the whole purpose of the Friday live streams, and look, it's pretty much the Friday live streams are usually, besides all the fun stuff and talking Toku news, but they also serve as channel updates. But long story short, working two jobs has definitely taken a toll on me, especially with the workload of the main job, which is salary, so I don't get paid any more for just doing more work. I've pretty much been overtly burnt out by it all, and given how overtly negative I was towards anything and everything last week, mostly on myself, I didn't want that to affect how I would actually end up reviewing last week's episode. Not only that, but also putting in the labor into editing these videos, because usually when it comes to actually writing out everything, recording everything, and editing everything, these videos actually take anywhere from about 8 to 12, 15 hours to produce. I know, but I took the weekend to pretty much decompress and build this guy. Ooh, nice. Even got some gold accents put in there. Anyway, enough about me. We're doubling up today and talking about this week's and last week's episode, which, yeah, first one I really wasn't so hot on, while the second one hit right in the feels. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. Jashiro's got some soul searching to do. AI soul searching to be exact, which who better to deal with BoonBoomger than True Blue, who digs that sea life. Though Mira being here ain't helping him chill, but she works everywhere anyway, so he's kinda stuck with her. But why the aquarium specifically? Well, it turns out that info brokering is a dangerous game. Bro out here looking like Solid Snake when Kojima actually had control of the franchise. Paranoia do be hitting though, and like Microsoft's Copilot suddenly being activated on your computer, where else can he unwind, decompress, and chill out outside of an aquarium? Speaking of chilling, the Hashidians are also just relaxing. But Cannonborg wants that gas, and he's gonna need the key to activate the beasts. So Itasha takes it to the fridge and transforms it into Octopus Treasure Chest Gruma? I'm sorry, what? What exactly is the logic here? Did someone just leave some sashimi in that fridge and that's what essentially she's transforming? This ain't no refrigerator. So, while Gruma attacks and gets the gas, the others show up with Killer Robo on deck. This time, with some new drip. With a two-prong assault, that means that the Boongers themselves gotta split up.
Oh yeah, you think just because we skipping Rainbow Road that Weldon O just gonna sit and mope?
Yes.
Well, joke's on you, Nigel Thornberry. We gon' show you how we smashin'. We are VR Laser.
What?
Oh yeah, big fight here in town. But what's this? Promo release bullets actually ineffective against something brown. Killer Robo getting around with that reach around.
Well, back on the ground, Boom Blue hits that final round. Proves to be ineffective as this rumor hits a different objective. Jashiro tries to block, but gets that icy hot. Mira can't take all this disdain, so Orange gives her the chains. They manage to get out of the scene, but Groomer here to clean. And I need a change of different screen. Because with the floor this icy, you know this fight's about to get spicy. Starting things off with the spin, but the spikes get them with the carry. Oh, and the parry. They hitting these moves like fairies. Triple axel into a seal tackle. Ice-breaking, face-quaking, game-changing, ball-facing!
Seem to have wet my pants.
The fuck you mean by that?
Now that that's out the way, we got new Boom Boom cars to display. Marine has come to and monster gets to come through. We slamming into the savagery, killer is taking their brutality. They got claws and jaws, but Robo Killer got the driller. Oink, monster tossing their robo, should've left them solo. So you think they charging up for an atomic beam? Nah, son, Shark Stream.
Alright, so that was episode 14. On the 15th side, however, things are a slight bit different as we've got dinos on the loose. Or rather, to amp up the Groomer game, the Hashidians have cooked up a scheme to make one using the fossilized remains of Made-Up-osaurus versus an inanimate object. So, they steal a bone and crack that soul up, boy, and give rise to ferocious beasts of the Cretaceous period. But when the Boomgers show up, he instantly dips. I guess the dino that he was made of wasn't really an apex predator, but instead, a punk-ass docile dino. So, while everyone fans out to find it, Joe is the lucky one, feeling no animosity with it, and calling it Kitaro. Torn on whether to defeat it for no reason or let it be, it's Gemba that gives the two just the shacking they need to test out that rock-hard future friendship. So, for about the next 12 hours, Joe is locked in a warehouse with that one groomer, out to prove that it's not as bad of a monster as everyone seems to think. What follows is creepy if you factor in that this is a grown-ass man as a suit actor doing all these actions, or completely innocent if you use the headspace that the show is trying to convey. But right when you think the coast is clear and the moment is right, the Hashidians show up to fuck shit up, proving that the Boomger's weakness is basic fishing nets. Joe and Kitaro are here on the lose-lose until the rest of the crew show on up. So we got this, right? Nah, Cannonborg about to test some more new shit, rewiring Kitaro to become the beast he always thought he could be, which circumvents Rainbow Road as he just grows big with no gasoline or yachting car required. What proceeds is an emotional fight between Joe and Kitaro as the musical cues, vocal deliveries, and cinematography go full swing and is probably one of the best scenes this show has had up to date. Restoring Kitaro to fossil, we have a bittersweet moment between Joe and the others. What the hell was that? God, the emotional whiplash. Really, we're going from bittersweet moment to happy-go-lucky. Thanks production staff. This is what's gonna kill me today. Don't ask how I got out. But with this week's episodes of BoonBoomger, we get the debut of Boom Boom Robo Monster. So with that, let's talk forms. From the initial scans, I really wasn't a big fan of this form. But after seeing it twice, it's actually up there with Robo Knight as one of my favorite Gatais. This is really not your conventional Sentai Gatai in a way that the combination doesn't make a humanoid style mech, which gives it a much more Grand Caesar vibes to it, which I think worked pretty well in his favor. So yeah, really love to see it and can't wait for the Robo Killer variant on this form, as he's currently playing catch up with a lot of his forms. Rating time! So episode 14 felt very weak, and I was a little bit down on it on my first watch, and yeah, watching it a few more times hasn't made the episode any better, and I found it to be just pretty mid. With Chashido's info brokering backstory really not giving me as much outside of gritty visuals, the episode did continue to stick the landing, however, when it comes to the action. But otherwise, this one's just getting a Car Ranger scene. 15, on the other hand, was a surprising trip, as the emotional investment between Joe and Kitaro was a charming tale with a bittersweet ending. And you really feel it in the performances of the actors during that final bout. As such, this episode gets the Shinken S! There's a few things within these episodes that kind of raise some questions, as 14's Fridge Gruma was defeated without its gas being sucked up by Yarukar. Since when you think about it, there was no big fight between it and the Boomgers because it was Killer Robo that was doing it. It begs the question of what happens to gasoline if it's just left alone. Nothing? Does it return to where it came from? Or like what exactly? We don't really see anything really change amongst humans when they get their gas sucked out, but at the same time it's like, where does it go when it's not being consumed? Or is this something that's going to get paid off later on? Also, is Cannonborg even aware of it? Because I'm pretty sure he cares. Almost his entire thing is about the gasoline. So it's a very curious side note regarding that information there. 15, on the other hand, gives us the first groomer that is made from a previously living being, which seems that if they plan their targets out correctly, could lead to much more dangerous of an outcome. Think of it this way, Kitaro was indeed strong, but it needed some primal instinct rewiring in order to get it up to that point. However, everything up until now has been inanimate objects. So there is no proper animosity that could come from that. While the real fights have been between sentient generals against the Boomgers, meaning that if they try using the key on, say, a living creature, even maybe a bear that's hopped up on booger sugar, then the Boomgers are really in for a real fight. Now I need that Cocaine Bear vs. BoonBoomger's V-Cinema. I do love that the Killer Robo is consistently getting upgrades, and it looks like his version of Knight is on the way given the preview. However, it also looks like Boon Diesel is delivering said sword for Cannonborg, which makes me wonder if that was the plan the entire time, what Cannonborg's relationship is with the incoming Boon Violet, and if they have some correlation to the creation of Killer Robo. Otherwise, Boom Boom Killer Robo is actually moving in the steps of directions that I was hoping for. What's not moving in the direction that I was hoping for was the potential for evil Boomgers in their own right. Reason being is that the Boom Boom Danger, which, is the changer that they use for controlling the Killer Robo, is a P Bandai only item if you get it bundled with the Boom Boom Killer Robo toy. Now, there's still the potential for a standalone release down the line since the show's still young, but I consider that the first nail in the coffin that I'm not going to be getting my evil BoomBoomgers. BoomBoomger still continues to excel when it comes to the action shots and the camera work going into things, since really that is what the vast majority of the episodes tend to be, is just action with very minimal plot. Though, there are some things regarding the little bit of plot that I still have some questions regarding. First of all, where the hell is Shirabe? She's been missing since Cannonborg's debut. It's been a lot of episodes. Another thing, that VTuber thing that Bundrio has a crush on keeps giving me weird vibes. It just showed up as a keychain ring in this latest episode, and I'm like, what if this actually is a seed plant that it's been a Hashidian the whole time? Maybe even the big bad themselves, and they were just doing a side gig as a VTuber. It's just some stuff that I've been, sussing out. Next week, however, we do get the introduction of Boon Violet, who appears to be playing both sides, as I mentioned before with the terms of delivery that he's got for Cannonborg. And then we also got Boon Diesel, who we now see transforms into Robot Professor X. So look, it's sure to be a ride. But with that being said, those are my thoughts. What are yours? What did you think about these 2 weeks of BoonBoomger? How's info brokering so dangerous? Also, the dinos taking in that key. Anyway, that's it for me. I'll see you on the next one, and I'll see you real boom.